Hello, welcome to the Gamers.
Yes, bienvenue.
We are doing our...
Hello.
Yes, what sounds that? We are doing our top 10 games of 2014.
It's 2015. Woo! To another year of gaming.
I've got to say, it doesn't seem 5 seconds since we did our last video.
No, it does not.
From 2013 with Ni no Kuni taking it.
Yeah.
So, what does
The
this
Wrath
year?
of the White Rich. And this year...
The Wrath of the
Rich. And this year, it's been... We say last year.
Yes.
It was difficult.
It was difficult. I think what we said was that there hasn't been as many games in 2014 as what there was before.
Obviously, for the mainstream games, there's still the FIFAs, there's still the Call of Duties.
Destiny.
You could argue Destiny is kind of like a mainstream game, but it is really.
Yeah.
So all those mainstream games are great. Not really our kind of bag, even though Destiny is pretty good, and we know that other games are good. It's just not like.
Well, Destiny was purely just the fact that it was just all hype, all this advertising.
Yeah.
So it was like it basically had to be the best shooter ever made, otherwise it wasn't going to live up to it.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah, it was a good game.
But it's not on our list.
Are we going to do notable mentions at the end or now?
Let's do them now.
Okay, so some of the games that I can think of off the top of my head that we're not including just because they've been remade or HD.
Or they just weren't good enough for the cut, yeah.
Yeah, so the ones that would have been good enough but have been remade are Tales of Symphonia Chronicles and Kingdom Hearts 2.5. That game, the amount of game you get in that is
Final Fantasy X and X-2,
yes.
that remake, the Tomb Raider remake for PS4.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's a great game. Lots of all the DLC re-included. That game's great anyway. So that
Ultra Street Fighter 4. We kind of need to mention that. We just couldn't really include it because it's like technically that's Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, I've got
Super Street Fighter 4.
So many iterations, yeah.
So.
But with the Omega Mode editions and with everything they've done, I mean, it's all free. I mean, the fact that that's all free is kind of fantastic. But as I say, it's technically it's a game from 2009.
Yeah, so
we can't really include it in our games.
So just let you know, that's what if they're not there, that's the reason.
Why.
Okay.
So we should start out with our number 10.
And number 10 is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. So
why it's number 10?
Okay, so let's start with the good things.
Yeah.
It's a new Metal Gear Solid game that looks incredible.
Yeah, graphically it's one of the best.
Wow. Plays flawlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. The controls are usable this time around. Like they're not impossible to use.
Like really awkward. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 controllers, I found really complicated. But obviously, just the bad thing is it's just the longevity of it. It's just so short.
So short. But I mean, there's lots of options. Every time you play through, you can play the game through completely differently.
I thought with the way people were going on about it, like it literally had no replay value. Like no, there's like loads of different missions, and then within those missions, it's like do it on normal, doing it on hard, trying to find every enemy, trying to do it with an S rank.
There's also collectibles, isn't there? I think.
Like cassette tapes and
dog tags.
No.
Weren't they? But what's the group called?
Foxhound. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's Foxhound patches.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, there's enough, and it's a great game, but because it's only really a prologue to
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain. That's why it's number 10.
I wonder what your Phantom Pain will be on sometime.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, a different kind of game that you may not be expecting is Theater Rhythm,
whatever it is.
Final Fantasy Curtain Call
for the Nintendo 3DS.
Yes, this is like addictiveness epitomized right here.
If you're a Final Fantasy fan, it's
or even if you just enjoy the music of Final Fantasy,
it's a must-own.
Yeah,
really. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's so addictive. It's
what me and Simon for a few months if Simon would come over and say if I was like busy editing some stuff, I'd just be like, oh, do you want to just go on this? And then Simon would be happy like doing that. And is this kind of game that you go on to play for like 10, 15 minutes,
and then an hour later?
An hour later, and you've just been like trying to beat your scores, and there is so
much music.
So I think there's 221 songs, not including DLC.
I'm talking Final Fantasy games that probably no one's heard of before as well.
I think there's every Final Fantasy game pretty much on there.
I mean, I heard of Final Fantasy Tactics, but there wasn't another one that we've never heard of before.
Mystical Quest.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that was a Final Fantasy game.
Then you've got the Dissidias.
Yeah. The Dissidia Duodecim.
Chocobo Dungeon.
Yeah, there's loads. So it's a Final Fantasy heaven.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8. Tales of Hearts R for the PS Vita.
Yep.
The Tales of fans here. The only reason this wasn't higher is because it's one of the only Tales of games that we're not been able to play, together and go through.
Yeah, we should argue it technically is a remake, but for our region, it is completely no.
Yeah. And so the good thing about it is obviously they've been able to get it out here, which is obviously incredible.
Yeah.
But it's English dubbed subtitled, so it's all still the Japanese voiceovers. But then the thing is, I know a lot of Tales of fans who actually play the whole game with Japanese voiceovers.
Yeah,
prefer it.
people prefer it. And we should say graphically, for a handheld console, it's kind of ridiculous.
And it's still got the amazing combat.
Yeah.
It's still the reason why you play.
It plays like a PS3 game in your hands, which still blows my mind.
Yeah.
How they can even do that.
And Simon bought a Vita today, so Simon's ordered that.
Hell yeah.
Okay. The Evil Within. So I think if you watched the video that we did very recently,
Christmas.
we said I got this for Christmas from Simon.
Yep.
So it plays like Resident Evil 4, over the shoulder horror game. The storyline's a lot more kind of complicated and weird though.
Yeah, it's completely nuts.
I'd say it's more jumpy and scarier than what Resident Evil 4 is.
Oh yeah, I'd say it's definitely scarier than Resident Evil 4.
But I think to me there's chapters 4 to 6 were some of the best horror games I've ever had. Simon actually watched me with most of those chapters.
it was scary.
In the asylum when you've got those invisible creatures, that's all I'm saying. Wow, that was the biggest jump.
Yeah.
This game made me sick on the ears. Literally, story for another day.
And now we get another console being introduced.
Yes. This is one of your favourites, I think, from this year as well.
Yeah, this is my kind of game. Hack and slash.
Pure fun.
Yeah. Adventure hack and slash. It's just, if you want to just jump into something without really knowing what, without having to go through hours of tutorials, and you want to just jump in, just have some fun.
Which is kind of
one of the best games.
Which is so Hyrule Warriors, and that's the reason why we like a lot of games, is because when you get home from work, the last thing you want to be doing sometimes is going on something like Final Fantasy from the beginning, going through the cutscenes.
So you're 10 hours of cutscenes later, you're alright, so there's that character who wants to kill that character, and alright, so there's that's Tales of. There's this upgrade system, and there's these weapons.
Sometimes you just want to just I need to take out my frustrations on some goblins.
Yeah.
Some goonies, and just hack and slash.
Yeah.
But all the different characters, all the different modes.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise until I think the first or second week that it was actually 2-player, did we?
Yeah, we
did. And one of us is on the gamepad, one of us on the Pro Controller.
And it was incredible.
Hilarious. So the adventure.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, and obviously if you're a Zelda fan, it just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
South Park, The Stick of Truth, and then what we're going to say is, so we're on number 5 now.
Yeah, so 5, 4 and 3 were without doubt the hardest to try and play.
And we changed it back and forth even just 2 minutes before this video.
Yeah, so we could argue that 5, 4 and 3 are technically joint third, but we had to give them each separate spaces.
So South Park, Stick of Truth, if you haven't played
without doubt the funniest game of last year.
And without the doubt the most, what's the word? Offensive game ever.
Yeah, it probably is.
And when I unlocked one of the achievements on this game, I was like, I wasn't going through the guide, I just unlocked an achievement and I was like, I'm the worst human being.
And if you've played it, you probably know what that is.
Yeah.
Great story, great look. I mean, somehow they captured the essence of South Park and put it in the game. I don't know how they did it.
This is South Park. This is a South Park TV show.
Yeah.
Be made.
I think it's the game that they always wanted to make but couldn't because of system limitations.
And you can really see that they were really into games.
Yeah, there's so many references to other games.
I think it was Matt Stone who said that two of his favourite games of all time are Skyrim and Earthbound.
Yeah,
and I think that really does show through because Skyrim, you've got all the customization of the equipment, and obviously with the wizards and things.
Yeah.
And then also with Earthbound, you're wandering around like a village or a city that you would in. And
that's exactly what that is. I mean, its only drawback is its level system is a bit short.
Oh, the level cap is really short.
Yeah.
But I'm on my third run through of this game.
And that shows you it's good, yeah.
But we were a bit unlucky here in Europe that someone's singing outside. 3 or 4 of the cutscenes were totally taken out because we weren't allowed to watch them in our country.
They were too rude.
Yeah, when Randy has certain things shoved up his certain something.
And I wanted to watch that.
Definitely wanted to watch that. Okay,
number 4.
Maybe a controversial ones for Final Fantasy fans coming in.
Yes, yeah. This is the Marmite of Final Fantasy.
Yes, you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13, Lightning Returns with Cloud Strife DLC. Me personally, and Simon agrees, we don't really get what's not to like in the Final Fantasy 13 series.
Yeah, I think all of it's
And we're
all
probably
different enough to be enjoyable, but
we like 7, and we like 10.
Yeah.
10 like them all.
I mean, there's not one Final Fantasy that I dislike. I love 6, I love 7, I love 8, I love 9.
Yeah.
I love 10. I've played 4 and 5. They're actually fantastic games. So there's not a bad one.
So what can we say about this? Side quests galore.
There's definitely
time-based. I mean, that's the only thing that was like.
It does worry you. It makes you think.
I think the first
everyone's gonna die.
I think when Simon came over to watch me on this, I think that for the first few hours I was like so tensed up. I need to get there. I need to do this.
Yeah.
And if like something went wrong, I was like, oh dear. Which I don't like. But then
you do find that you do have time. You do.
And by the end of it, I was like a couple of days like stored up just to go and fight some stuff. Also, my third run through this, so another game.
And we should probably mention that the mechanics are actually pretty different to the other two Final Fantasy 13 games.
Yes.
And I think I might prefer them the most in this.
So you can like change your armor. And
your garb.
Your garb changes like your paradigm layout.
Yeah.
So
which means you've got a lot more options, really.
Yeah, and you can upgrade your garbs.
Yeah.
Equilibrium plus for the win.
Hell yeah. So that's our number 4.
Yeah.
Now we get to the top 3.
And then the last one, as we said, that was the hardest choice to make.
Yeah, and we'll explain why it could have. Yeah, why it was hard. Yeah.
Mario Kart 8. Right. Apart from Mario Kart 64, it's been a long time since I've fully enjoyed. Like Double Dash was good.
Yeah, Double Dash. I think for me, Double Dash is my favourite apart from 8.
Yeah, and then mine was 64.
Yeah.
Playing that with my brother. But like Mario Kart 7. Never ever interested me on DS.
No.
Mario Kart Wii I sold after a couple of weeks. The whole steering wheel thing I didn't like. Then this, in Glorious HD, online.
That makes a difference as well.
Online's so good. We couldn't believe the netcode in this game.
Yeah, it just runs like like they're playing next to you.
The customization.
Yeah, all the options, character options, stage options.
Yeah. So the reason why this is the number 3
is
because when you've got like 3 or 4 people playing this game,
it is so fun. There's only one game that's more fun with more people.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game is just so much fun if you've got people.
And then, so the argument was why this may have been 4th or 5th was because the one player isn't as good.
It's still fantastic.
Still fantastic, but not compared to like in terms of Starfox Truth. Obviously they are one player games, but then we had to be like, but they don't have any multiplayer at all. So
yeah. I mean, there's leaderboards, but. Not really cares.
And so I think I bought the DLC like the other day, so we played in that. And
that's so good.
Link, never playing another character ever again.
And so number 2, the same franchise gets sticked again.
Yeah. Last year, Tales of Xillia 1 came second, closely behind Ni no Kuni, and then this year, unfortunately, this is the special edition that we get in Europe with Rolo the cat on it.
My favourite character.
So Tales of Xillia 2
gets
second.
It's maybe better than the first one.
Yeah, everything that was good about the first one
they made better. Yeah,
and everything if you didn't like it in the first one, if you didn't like the first one, you're not gonna like this.
No,
and if you like the first one, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, because it is basically. It's not. I say it's nothing. It's not the first game. Yes, the characters do continue on, but it's not the first game. And there's so much more to do.
Even though he's not my favourite character to play,
Luger is.
I will say Luger is the most fun to play in combat. Being able to change between hammers, swords and guns. Some of the stuff you can pull off in this game was so satisfying.
Playing as Gaius.
Yeah.
That was ridiculously good. I mean, so when I play too, I've got Mila, I've got Jude, I can play as Gaius.
Yeah.
There's so many more options in that game.
Alvin.
Collectibles and everything was so much fun.
This is the reason why we love Tales of, is because when you've got 2 people who really appreciate a genre like this, there's no other RPGs that you can play 2-player.
No. And you can just go and keep poning enemies.
Yeah, and
and the link arts were like stupidly good.
They're like the only RPG pretty much where grinding like never gets boring.
No, because every single fight is different.
Yeah. Like we were going through like the mega type dungeon at the end.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Shadow Bakuras for the win.
But yeah, so unfortunately it got shafted again.
Maybe in this year, 2015, maybe Tales of Hysteria will come up from its but it's got some tough competition.
It does. So now we could go on number 1, and you're thinking, what could it be? And if you are thinking of what it is, it won't be any surprise to you.
It's Destiny. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, like solely for Wii U we're going for here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, like the best multiplayer genre just gets even better.
You could argue it is the best multiplayer game of all time. You could argue that.
the amount of modes,
Yeah.
value for money in this game.
Character options, stage options.
Like at first when we were seeing some of the trailer reveals, we were a bit like, oh, this is all mainstream. But then they start bringing in like the other ones that people had never thought of. Like once they showed Shulk, I was like, yes. Like Shulk, Ike, Marth, and then you've got all the amiibo support. Yeah. You've got online. You're going to be having leaderboards, and, tournaments.
Just game modes, and it is one of the funnest games to have with people. And different with Mario Kart 8 is it's also a fun game to play on your own.
And that's why, so yeah, I mean, I'm guessing most of you played this, but if you haven't got a Wii U or you like,
there are actually some games for it. Don't be shocked that. And
we've just cut out at the same time. We're like, oh, we forgot this honorable mention.
If we had have got this game, this could have been a top 3. Of what we've seen of it, it looks like it could have been top 3.
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
So we knew what each other were thinking there.
Yeah. Because I played Bayonetta 1 and it was one of my favourite games for the 360. Fantastic game. And Bayonetta 2 just looked even better.
And it includes Bayonetta 1.
Yeah.
And then you've also got like costumes of Fox McCloud and Samus Aran.
And Link. Yeah, so also that game could have easily made it. But we haven't played it, so we can't say.
No, yeah.
But so Smash Bros. Will be that make her number 1. And that is 2014.
So here's 2015. Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Order, Majora's Mask, Tales of Hysteria. Just on top of my head, there you go. What a year.
So that's what we've got to look forward to, and we'll see you at the end of 2015. With maybe some videos in between.
That's the next time we're going to see you subscribers. Go.
Bye bye.
See you guys.